Hi, Questers. Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't been around for a little while, but last weekend I actually lost a dear friend. She was a very lovely person. She was there for me when I was at my lowest. Well, I met her at when I was at my lowest, and she meant a lot. Meant a lot to me. Last time I spoke to her was actually in July, and she told me that she was starting radiotherapy, I believe it was. And unfortunately, just a few short months later, and she passed. So it's very sad. She was very dear to me. I had a lot of respect and love for her, and my sympathies and my love goes out to her family. I doubt they'll be watching my content, but if they are, then love you guys. So let's get into this. I mean, this is LoKi season 2, episode 3. But before I do that, if you like my content, guys, please hit that little thumbs up, give us that like, hit the subscribe button, and select all the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming content. And please don't forget, you can comment down below any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, or just anything. Just be nice, be kind, be civil. Okay, so let's get into this and see what it looks like. Let's pick the right one here. Okay, here we go. It's a Disney Plus original. Well, obviously, it's LoKi. Okay, so right off the bat, I've said it before. I mean, I've always liked their Marvel openings, even if they change the colors. But to change the Marvel intro music to a piano, or I forget what the other one is. It's that weird sounding piano. Why? I mean, clearly this must mean that they're going further back in time to maybe the a lot earlier. I mean, why? Why would you do that? I mean, it was perfectly fine to begin with, so why change it? Oh, so yeah, we're just definitely going back in time to maybe if that's Chicago. What would that be? Early 1800s, maybe. Around early 1800s, maybe 1700s. Okay, fine. That makes sense with the piano music or whatever they call that piano's type. But okay, fine. Okay, so I was almost right. It's the mid 1800s. Okay, that's fine. Uh, 1868, Chicago, Illinois. Okay, it's Badgie. Oh, sorry, wrong franchise, wrong streaming service. Oh, what can I say? Badgie. It's clocky, tiny. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got that idea from Star Trek Lower Decks. Just the first ones to do in a live action style. Okay, fine. So they stole that from Star Trek, did they? So she was walking around and she was like, "Oh, this can't be right. I mean, there's something wrong here. That can't be right. Can't be right at all, can it? What's going on?" Yeah. And then she goes into this barn, and there's a cow in the middle of Chicago. So I suppose that would make sense. I mean, I suppose they would still have their own livestock there to produce milk and stuff like that. So yeah, okay. It's just, but I mean, at what point did they industrialize milk? When did they industrialize milk? Comment down below. Let me know. When did they industrialize milk in America? Because I think by this time, I think we had some sort of milk delivery service in the UK, or a way to supply stores with milk. I'm pretty sure, but it wouldn't have been the milk that we have now. Because I mean, when I was a kid, we had milk bottles, a glass bottle about a pint size. That's why they were measured in pints, because we had bottles that were a pint, and we had a nice thick layer on top at the top, which was the cream. Now, when they used to say it's pasteurized milk, it's not the milk that was pasteurized; it was the cows. They were pasture fed, right? That's why it was called pasteurized. It wasn't until later on when we decided, oh, we're going to skim all the stuff off, that then we got semi-skimmed and skimmed milk. So they were skimming the cream off the top. But here's the thing. They realized that they could make more money by making cheese and stuff out of the cream instead of a cheese factory buying the milk to churn for the cheese. They would skim the stuff off the top and then they would sell it on. Then this became known as pasteurized, which is just literally skimming all the good stuff off the top. And they would boil, get this, they boil the milk in order to get all the good stuff, all the calcium and the minerals out of it to go into cream and cheese done by a completely different company. So that is how we ended up getting pasteurized milk here in the UK. When I was a kid, we had gold tops. We did start getting red tops and green and gold tops, I think, which was the semi-skimmed and skimmed. I think skimmed milk is red. Now semi-skimmed milk is green top, and whole milk used to be blue. But it's almost like they're changing things. It's like they want to save money on the dye for the plastic, so now we end up with a clear white, a semi-clear, semi-transparent white lid on no matter what milk you get. So it's all different. But I digress. I'm not talking about this stuff. I'm supposed to be talking about LoKi. So I apologize for that. But it's a point I wanted to try and make, because when I was a kid, I used to drink the milk and it used to be really nice. Really nice. But the problem with now is they skim it, all the cream and all the stuff off the top. They boil the milk, then they skim it again, then they bottle it and sell it, and that's how they do it. But I mean, if you went to a dairy farm, and you wanted a cup of tea, you would probably get fresh milk from their cow. That's in the old days, but now you're not allowed to, because the milk companies want to monopolize it and say, look, the farms have to sell the milk to us so that we can make it safe for consumption, even though it's safe for consumption as long as the cows are healthy. The milk needs to be kept at a chilled temperature, certain temperature, to keep it chilled and to maintain its consistency. And that's why I think that there's so much things that people are becoming lactose intolerant. Because in my opinion, lactose intolerance didn't come along until they started processing the milk, until they started skimming all that good stuff off and putting it in it and using it to make the cheese. That's my opinion. I hold to that opinion. And if you think that I'm completely bonkers talking about milk processing and pasteurizing in a LoKi video, please comment down below, because I know I am. But it's just a point I wanted to make, because seeing this is like, if I lived on a farm, I would have some cows that was set aside for me to use for milk, because fresh milk, chill it, put it in a bottle, chill it in the fridge, and in my opinion, also before they started pasteurizing milk by scraping all the good stuff off, before they started doing that, in my opinion, milk used to taste a lot better and it used to last longer. You've got to bear in mind, it used to last longer. By boiling it, they killed off the bacteria, which was deemed as dangerous bacteria, which was actually healthy bacteria, the good stuff. And now we got lactose intolerance, and then we end up with dairy-free cheese, which is completely ridiculous, because how can you make cheese without milk? But let's get back to this, because it's supposed to be about LoKi. Please stop with this shit. I mean, who likes this title sequence? I mean, LoKi flashing around on the. Oh my god! Stop it! No, I know it's going to be here for the rest of the season, but please stop. I don't like it. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's terrible. You have no idea how bad that title sequence is. Just a flip. Really? And black and white? How boring. I really want Obi to say, Dr. Jones, Very interesting light show. I must say. I mean, the dialogue was really bad. Clearly, he's not supposed to be that great a talker, but yeah, it's just putting on a good show, right? So it's great to see this. But this is a major thing with me. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, I do talk about the budget for shows and movies being excessive right now. And this is a perfect example. Do we really need that much of a show when all we needed was a few little sparks? Right, all we need is a few little shots of lightning. Um, but you could make that out of you could make a practical set with that using what are those things? A Tesla coils. You can use Tesla coils and make a real one of those, and it'll probably be a hell of a lot cheaper than using that CGI. I'm just saying. So it's a pet peeve with me that this guy, these people are spending excessive amounts of money making the visual effects when you can have a practical effect for less, which will be more realistic because it is real, right? Now, I'm not even sure that the CGI guy that created this. I notice if you notice, there's less nicotine stain, which means it's going away. I've been doing quite well. It's almost been a week. It's almost been a week since I quit smoking, so I'm doing quite well for my first week. But we know it takes time. But at the same time, when when I say that you can make a practical thing, you can watch YouTube videos, right? And you can see someone they build a Tesla coil, and they have very low voltage or wattage powering it, and it makes an impressive show, which looks a hell of a lot better than that. Just saying. Hmm. I must admit, it's nice to see LoKi being LoKi and doing his stuff, so to speak. Um, but I'm pretty sure he could have handled that big guy without using his powers. But because he's got time against him, literally, he has to do that and get rid of him. But it'd be interesting to see where he ended up. Maybe he ended up with his face in some crap, some shit, or something like that. Maybe that would be nice. I doubt we'll see anything else of that guy, but it's nice to imagine that LoKi would have made him maybe face down in a manure pile or something, or in some fresh manure or shit of some kind. Or maybe even underneath a toilet. But I don't think they had proper toilets back then. I think they just had a hole in a seat or something. But we might get something, but I seriously doubt it, to be honest. But we'll see. We might. I would have preferred a manure trailer or something, or a manure cart. But a pig's cage, that makes sense. It's LoKi, but they could have done something a bit more imaginable, right? It was obvious that something was going to happen with that pig cage because it was in the foreground earlier. If you've watched this and you'll know what I mean. It was in the foreground, so it was literally standing out in the scene. So it was meant to be noticed, right? I get the impression. Oh, I'll move back somewhere for some reason. I get the impression that she's not actually on a boat trying to row it in water. Um, I can see that may be CGI, which means that that's quite possibly and quite literally likely to be the LED wall. You can obviously see in the foreground there's obvious consistency issues with the image, the background image, which is obviously on the LED wall in the back behind her. But the least they could actually have done was maybe shoot her actually trying to row a boat. It would make more sense because they're actors. It's not like they can be accused of actually doing any physical work nowadays, is it? Not when it's all CGI. You know, they couldn't even get someone to do a stunt double of them, of someone rowing it for real reality. You know, it wouldn't be difficult, really. Uh, and the way that she actually rows, it doesn't feel real. This is the problem what we're seeing with a lot of stuff, especially when it comes through Disney. Don't get me wrong, Disney do have the capacity to make really good content, but at the same time, they can make really, really bad content. It's like the video I'll be making tomorrow or later today. You know, you should have a look. You should see it later on. I mean, you might agree with me on a lot of it, but there's with this type of thing where they can't even do a good CGI background of someone attempting to row a boat, and the fact that she mentions I can see this this partnership. She mentions partnership to the guy, and he literally drops her off. I mean, I'm pretty sure she wasn't talking about a business partner. She was talking about a relationship as a partner. I mean, she's starting to fancy you, man, and you jump her off the side of the fucking boat. I mean, seriously, she might not be my type, but you know, I'm just saying. I mean, she's a lovely girl. She's a lovely looking woman. She looks amazing. But she's not my type. Just saying. So Sylvia arrives, saves the day, and yeah, she ends up sending them to the end of time, which is weird because if it was the end of time, then there wouldn't be nothing there, right? Which is always the thing that it's the end of time, nothing should exist at the end of time. Otherwise, time will move on beyond its time. Really confusing. Really confusing. Kind of reminds me of a Dr. Becky, an astrophysicist that I watch occasionally on YouTube, and it's a similar thing. There's a question about one thing, like time being having an end, but not having an end because it continues beyond the end and whatever. But it has, she doesn't do anything about time. Dr. Becky doesn't do anything with time. She's more to do with black holes. Astrophysicists tend to be that way. She's quite entertaining. Anyway, the fact that Sylvie came in and saved the boys. She saved the boys again. It's just a more of the fact that where the world is right now, right? So okay, so that was it. That was the end. Okay, so I went into this knowing that there were critics that had said that out of the first 4 episodes that they had seen already, the first and fourth, the episode 1 and episode 4 are the best. Episode 2 and 3 are the worst. So I think it's good. It's obvious to see that episode 2 and 3 have been the worst ones so far. But I'm kind of holding it. I'm not holding hopes for it, but apparently episode 4 is going to be better, more along the lines of episode 1, which was quite good actually. Despite the fact that it had nothing to do with progressing the story, it was just to set up the temporal loom issue. Now, I know my background is a bit messy. The green screen isn't even in that direction. The stand for my green screen has it's gotten a little bit damaged, so it's not standing upright anyway. But the virtual background working okay. But for my reaction to LoKi it's LoKi, right? And with Disney and Marvel and even Star Wars these days, it's touch and go with their episodes. I mean, even Ahsoka had its bad episode. Every show that ever made has good and bad episodes, right? So when you look at the consistency of making bad episodes one after the other, and then complain that you're not getting enough people viewing it or you're not getting enough subscribers to come and watch it, then you must realize that you're doing something wrong. But the fact that you're in the press, Disney, and you're accusing us of being the problem, we're not the problem. We're the audience. We're the ones that. So I'm doing these videos because I want you to make good stuff. I want to see some good stuff. But the problem is you're not making consistently good stuff. You're. I know you're talking about doing a Marvel reboot, starting again, but you're not going to do that. You're not. I mean, it's plain and simple. You're gonna. It's gonna cost you way too much money, and the fact that you're hemorrhaging money everywhere because you're losing subscribers. People don't want to watch your material. They don't want to be your audience. They want to concentrate on other ones that are good. Like, I mean, even Star Trek. Star Trek has its bad times, but it's better content than a lot of what Disney are doing. So LoKi is no exception. However, with 2 and 3 reportedly being by critics that they're the two worst episodes, or they're the two bad episodes out of the first 4 that they watched. I don't know if they watched all of them. They probably didn't watch the whole show, the whole season. They probably just watched the first 4 episodes for Disney and Marvel in order to get us talking about it. But the problem is, when we YouTube content creators, I am a content creator, right? So I'm a content creator. I want to make videos that will get views. I want you to make shows and programs and movies that people watch. But if you don't make the stuff that people watch, then you've got a problem. Because when you start attacking us, whether it's a YouTube channel or it's just the regular Joe reviewing or reacting to it and posting comments on Twitter or something like that, you're blaming them when it's actually you that are the consistent problem. But you're blaming the fans and the audience because the audience are toxic. It's a toxic fandom for Star Wars. It's toxic Marvel fans. But the toxic part is not us. It's not us, the audience. It's you. It's you, the creators of this show and movies or whatever bad shit you're creating, and you're expecting us to like it. But when we say we don't like it, you're accusing us of being bigots and nitpicky. We're not being bigots. We're not being nitpicky. We're being honest. We're telling you that you're doing shit wrong. You're making mistakes. This episode was it had its good parts. The ending was quite good, actually. I quite enjoyed the ending. I like it. But there wasn't anything in between. We had a few little chase scenes. Okay, fine. We had a little bit of drama. Fine. But there was nothing to do with the overall story. Why would it take them? Why would someone be trying to get Victor to the TVA to help? But then she's the bad guy, right? She's the villain, but she's not. She's just trying to do things a different way for a different reason, but she has the same result, right, in mind. She wants to help the TVA, but she wants to. I think the whole point is that she wants the TVA to be back the way it used to be, where it was mass murdering tens of billions of people in each timeline. Well, it's not even just tens of billions of people. It's not one world, is it? Each timeline is the entire universe that's being destroyed when they prune it up. So, yeah. At the same time, like I said, I want you to make good stuff. I want to watch good, entertaining content. I want to be saying brilliant things about you. I want to say, "Oh, Disney, you've done a really great job," but I just can't bring myself to do it because you haven't. You haven't. It's an okay show, but it's not good. It's not great. It's not going to draw people in to come and watch it. It's like with Ahsoka. The problem with them is you've got no emotion anymore. There's no emotion to hold us. So there's no reason for us to watch it. The best entertainment comes with when you have emotion involved. You draw people in using emotion, right? It's like there was some films, some shows that make a tear form in your eye. They don't necessarily make you cry, but if they can get you to form a tear or laugh or just go, oh shit, then you're going to get the reaction you want, and you're going to get more people watching it next time. But the problem is you haven't got the emotional um, empathy going for it for the shows. The dialogue, essentially, a lot of the dialogue is bad. A lot of the visual effects are unnecessary. It's like all that electrical spark show that you did. It could have been done with a couple of Tesla coils, perfectly safe. With low voltage. Could have been done perfectly safe with a practical effect. But no. We have to do a CGI. We need CGI. We need it to all over the place, which you could have done with a Tesla coil setup. Would have been a lot cheaper. There are YouTubers that know how you can watch a video and learn how to fucking make one. But I mean, so there's my reaction. My reaction is essentially it's an okay show. But the problem is, if you have 2 consistent episodes which are bad, like you have, it's not. I mean, in my opinion, they're okay, but on the whole, they're consistently bad. They're bad for drawing us in because there's nothing there. There is nothing there to get us feel our empathy for it. We need to feel. We need something that can make us laugh, something that can make us cry. We need something that gives us the reaction, right? That is what you should be doing. And you're not doing it with any of these shows. And I wish you would. I really, really do. I really do. I want you to do good. I want Disney to succeed. I want Disney to carry on. But I don't want you to carry on making bad shit. And then you end up with what? You make consistently bad shit, you're just gonna fall. It's gonna collapse, and no one's gonna want to watch your stuff. No one's gonna want to subscribe to your channel. That's the problem. And Paramount have noticed that. People have noticed, Paramount and Amazon. They know it. Netflix knows it. They watch us. They look at our reactions, our content, especially video. I mean, they might not look at mine. My channel's too small, but I could imagine that if you've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, you'll get company like Amazon. Jay's been contacted by Amazon officials to talk about Stargate. So that's one thing. 2, you also get Paramount. They're doing the same thing. They're passing Prodigy on to Netflix because they want to reduce the amount of content on Paramount Plus. But Paramount Plus is losing money as well. They need an influx of cash. Now, the best way I could see Paramount making money is by going back to the old model, having their content streamed on other services. Netflix, Amazon, they used to pay Paramount and CBS a ton of money for the rights to show it. And that money went to that project, right? It went into the show. Even though Discovery, Star Trek Discovery was bad, in my opinion. I didn't like it. The first 2 episodes of Discovery, they were really good episodes, but they were not Star Trek to me. It's the same as Star Wars. A lot of the stuff you're making for Star Wars, it's not Star Wars to me. It's generic sci-fi. When you view them as generic sci-fi, you can enjoy them. But with this LoKi, with the fact that you're using a major character from your movie franchise, the movie franchise side of it, not the TV franchise or the show franchise, the movie franchise, LoKi, you're really making mistakes by not letting him be the most powerful one. He's a god, for crying out loud. He's going to be a big, powerful being in the TVA, right? He's going to be a competitor for Victor, right? We know this. It's obvious. He's LoKi. He's a god. He's not a good guy. But you're trying to make him out as a hero when he's not a hero. He's an anti-hero. It's an anti-hero is like Deadpool, right? Deadpool is an anti-hero. He's a hero because he helps and he saves people and he does this and that. But he's an anti-hero because he kills people. LoKi killed people. So he's not the hero of the show. He's the anti-hero of the show. He's the namesake of the show. And you're not making us think of LoKi as the reason to watch it. It's titled LoKi, and it's mostly been about Sylvie, even though she is technically LoKi. But I mean, she's barely been in it. Even in season 1, she was barely in it for most of the show, for most of the season. So get rid of all this other shit and just have it LoKi, and let LoKi have some adventures. Let him do some mischief. It's LoKi, for crying out loud. We expect LoKi to do mischief. Right, so I'm going to stop this rant, and I'm going to get into some other videos later, and I hope you like this content. If you do, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and select all in the notifications so you don't miss any upcoming content. And please don't forget to comment down below any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions. And please, 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 anything you say in the chat or the comment section, please be civil, be fair, be nice, be kind. Okay, we don't want any of that bad shit, crazy stuff. Okay, so keep it nice, keep it safe, keep it civil, keep it fair, and guys, have a good time, have a good night. I'll see you again soon, and as always, may the Schwartz be with you.